Hey guys, welcome to the fourth episode of the Awarenezzz Podcast. Today we are here with our guest, Giulio Romano. Tell us about yourself, how are you?
Thank you guys for inviting me. I appreciate it so much, and I hope your project will grow, and I wish all the best for you. So I'm Giulio, I'm from Italy. I'm a sophomore here at Indiana Tech. I'm a runner. I run for the cross-country team and for the track team. I started running about 3 years ago. So I started in 2021. I came from the martial arts world. I practiced karate for about 10 years. And once I was done, I decided to play some football for 1.5 years. And I played for like half of the year with my local club. And then I got called by a Slovenian team because I'm from Trieste, which is a city close to Slovenia.
Yeah.
Slovenia is a Balkan country, and they called me there, so I decided to give it a try. This was a very good team, and unfortunately, when COVID came, they closed the border, so we as Italians we couldn't go there. So at that point, I couldn't play football anymore, and the only available sport was track. So I decided to give it a try, see how it goes, and I started as a sprinter. I was practicing a lot with the sprinters, but then we found out that I was better on longer distance, from where it goes from 800 to 1500 and mile. So then I moved to in 2022 with the distance group, and I was getting pretty solid results. So I decided to keep doing that. And at the end of the day, I'm here. I got a full scholarship here at Indiana Tech, and I'm glad I can keep studying and doing the sport at high level here in the United States.
Well, that's very interesting, man. So you didn't start as a track and field athlete, and it's very interesting because a lot of people think they have to do it for all their life.
Yeah.
Did you, once you started running, did you have like a vision with it? Like, were you did you want to take something out of it, or were you just running in the street while COVID happened?
Well, I wished I started track earlier.
Yeah.
Because many of the runners, especially when you're getting 19, 20 years old, all of them started running for a long time. I wish I started earlier, but track is an individual sport, so you are getting like satisfaction of what you achieve. And when I did the first race, I ran a 1500. I got second, and that made me stay motivated and keep doing that, because running requires work every day. You need to stay committed and get the hard work every day. It's not an easy sport. It's very mental. When I start with the distance group, we were doing usually a 20-25 minutes warm up. I couldn't even finish that, to be honest. Not even finish that. And that was not because I couldn't do it, but because my brain was saying, no, this is too long. I can't do it. So track and running made me grow, not only as a physical aspect, but also the mental aspect. It was crazy how I improved. The first time, as I say, I couldn't manage to run 25 minutes. Now I can do like long runs without any problems. And I think this was a very important aspect of my mental life. Yeah, definitely.
Mentioning mental life, like also because you started running in COVID times, did you think it helped you like to free your mind? Because like in COVID you're home alone, can't meet your friends.
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of times we had to stay at home, locked in. So thankfully there were some rules that allow people to go run as long as it was not more than, I would say, 2 kilometers outside your home. So I was taking like small loops outside my house, maybe hanging out with some runners of my club. So it was very important that day. It was making me free my mind, allowing me to meet people that in that period it was very hard to meet. And by running, we were not also like working and get physical activity, but also engage, just talk about how we spent the day. And especially in that moment with the school, you had to take online courses, and it was very hard. A lot of people were just staying home. They didn't want to go out. They were used to stay at home. So allow me to go out as a runner literally make me having a free mind and enjoy my day better.
Yeah, of course. And it's actually very interesting because people don't really realize, because they see running as an individual sport.
Yeah.
There's no really interaction with other people that much. But running is actually a very mental sport. Like getting over those first 20 minutes, for example, for me, like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be able, as you mentioned, that the first 25 minutes you were struggling. Did you have like something specific that you started doing to get over those 25 minutes, or what was it that allowed you to get over that barrier you had of saying, oh, I cannot do this, and then started performing better?
Yeah, so the difference, I would say, it was that I was with a group, with a group of people that keep motivating me, keep saying, just work hard, the result will come, it's just the start. So I would say, as running is a very mental sport, be in a group with people that share your same value and your same determination is very helpful. When I was in Italy, I was training with like 30 guys or something like that. So even if one of us was falling down, we had 29 guys to cheer up on him.
And also you see it like a challenge, right? Because you're trying to be better than the other one.
Especially when it comes to running, having people that run faster than you, making you stay motivated and say, okay, this time I will try to get him. And especially when we have like workouts, you don't always want to pace yourself, but you rather have someone in front of you to keep the pace, and one day you'll be the one in front. So, and the same thing happened when I came here. I have a big team now. The cross country team is pretty huge. We have like about 25 people, 30. So we're always motivating ourselves. This year we got good results, and the track team is very huge as well. We have like more than 100 people, I would say. So it's a very big number, and having this big number makes everyone try to be the best, because everyone has a talent, but talent without hard work is nothing,
Of course.
So you're always trying to keep yourself motivated with all those people around, and try to be, of course, the number one.
And also because of like track allows you to be competitive, because there's a number, there's like the time, so you can really track if you were better than the other person. For example, in football, you cannot really put into numbers how well you played or something, but with track, like you can really put a number on the time you made. So there's always like this competitive drive of people trying to be faster than the other one, right?
Yeah, as you mentioned, track is, I would say, an objective sport.
Yeah.
So, in football, you can score like 50 goals in one season, but some people are gonna say, maybe this guy is not that good, even if he scored 50 goals. But in track, you run a time in a specific distance, and then everyone will see yourself as a fast athlete.
Doesn't matter like the way you see, the way you show yourself while you're running it. What does matter is the time that you make, right?
Because also when it comes to national, you have to hit a specific time to go there. So it makes people even try to work harder to try to achieve that goal.
Yeah, of course.
So this is very challenging at the start, because when I started, I couldn't hit the standard. I was trying to get very close to it, but I couldn't do it. And after, I say to myself, okay, no, I'm working hard. I have to achieve this goal. And after the first year, I always get to nationals and improved every year.
Of course.
It's a long progress. Also, like Camilo said before, breaking barriers. And I think a lot of confidence comes from achievements. For example, I run on a mile, like maybe, what's your mile time?
For
At the
13 from last year.
That's not bad. So now you know you can do 4:30. So for this year, you're going to like start to improve it.
Like, do you have like a specific number, right?
Yeah, of course. Myself as a 1500 mile runner, I'm trying to improve every year. I'm trying to go to nationals this year. The standards are higher, but I'm pretty close. I run the second fastest time all time at Indiana Tech, so I'm 2 seconds off the school record. I'm trying to get it this year, hopefully, and hopefully get a good result at nationals. But as you say, in track we have times, and we are trying to get them. That's what keeps us motivated.
Yeah. And also, like, something that's really interesting that I want to revisit, the fact that you started like doing karate, then you played football, and then you started doing track. Like, run us a little bit through that process of you being 10 years in karate, then making the switch to football, and also you mentioned a little bit of that switch to track, but run us a little bit more through that process.
Yeah, well, I've been practicing karate for 10 years, since when I was very, very little. And, that process made me, it was an individual sport.
Yeah.
So you were racing, you were fighting actually against people. And, in karate, you're starting from the white belt until you reach the black belt.
Yeah.
So one of my goal and ambition was trying to get the black belt.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, you need to take like physical exams and physical fight against at the end of the year. So when I was 15, I'm 14, 15, I reached the goal of the black belt.
So you're black belt karate.
Yeah, I can say I also won a European.
Watch out.
I was European champion of I competed to world championship. It's not as big as other sports, but still, it's some recognition and
Of course. It's a sport, and you have to master it.
Yeah. So I was growing up in a fighting club in my town. I got at the end of my black belt, I was tired. I lost a little bit of motivation because in martial arts you get a fight every 3-4 months.
Okay.
And you had to wait a lot in order to compete. So I was losing a little bit of motivation, and also in the gym where I was training, if I beat one of my teammates, there was some bit of jealousy and a little bit of fighting. So it was a lot of people start to quit, and then I was one of the fewest left. And in that period, I loved to play football. So it was a hard fight with my parents, because especially my mom, she wanted me to keep doing that.
Yeah, I mean, you've already reached a very high level, and then switched to another thing, right?
I was happy with the progress I made. It helped me build that mental aspect I didn't have, so it allowed me to grow as a human being, especially.
Of course.
And then I started playing football I loved it. I was always going, even when I was doing karate, I was playing football with my friends at the local park, and every Sunday. I liked it a lot, so I gave it a try. I went to my local club, and then after I was playing as a left wing, because I was faster than anyone in the field, so the coach put me as a left wing. My technique wasn't that good, I have to admit. I was just making cross. Fast. Yeah, I was making cross, some assists and stuff like that, but I wasn't not as good as with the technique. But then I moved to a Slovenian team, which was playing in the first league. Of course, Slovenia is a small country, so the first league is not the same first league as it is in Italy. So I gave it a try. I went there for almost a year, and I have to say it was very physically. It was completely different than how I was playing football in Italy. In my local club, it was just more a fun game.
Yeah.
You went there, you just waited to play the final game at the end. And in that club in Slovenia, I was playing. It was very, it was taken very seriously. Even if we were 15, 16, we were having meet every day, see what was wrong in practice, try to adjust some things. We had the record of every match, so it was very serious as a staff. And I have to say, I am lucky that COVID came, because at the end they closed the borders, so I wasn't allowed to go there anymore, and that made me think, okay, maybe I always want to do sports and not stay at home. So as I said before, the only sport available was track, so I'd say let's give it a try. I knew a coach that was coaching like sprinters, and I have high schoolers guys that try to bring me in that world. So I say, let's give it a try, and thank God I made that decision, because now it pays me to study in college,
And it's very important, because many people, like, a door closes, which is the one with you, that when COVID hit, the border closed and you weren't able to train, right? But then it's that of looking for other opportunities, which is what you did, and it ended up paying well. Like, it gave you the opportunity to come to America to study, and now you're here in the university and you're doing well in your track. So it's a very, very important thing for the people to get, that when a door closes, like, there's many other opportunities, and it's not about like complaining that the door closed. Like, you could have easily complained like, oh no, now I cannot play, now I'm not gonna do anything. And now, instead of that, you started like looking for other things. You went to run track, and it paid off well. So it's very important that you say that to people.
You also mentioned like the mental aspect, which you already had like for you, like coming to track, working towards a goal, being competitive. Do you also like that, because most of the sports guys like do track and field or cross country before they do like football or different team sports. Do you think there was like an actual physical benefit for you going into track, or more like a non-beneficial?
Oh, definitely it helped me, because as I said before, playing in individual sports allows you to grow as the mental aspect that you wouldn't have if you were playing a team sport, because when you have a team, you can say, okay, maybe I'm playing bad, but the other teammates are playing good, so at the end the average is better, instead of you are in an individual sport. If you play bad, if you're performing well, if you're performing bad, you're having a bad day, that's gonna have an effect on your performance.
Individual sports, it's always about you. Like, either you win, you're fine, and if you lose, it's always your fault. You can't put a blame on someone else.
You're always trying to be the best, in the individual sports, because you have, especially in running, you have a lot of people trying to be the best. So at the end of the day, whoever believes more wins.
It's very important that you've gotten like the best out of the two worlds, so team sports and individual sports, because you also play football. And it's what you see in track. So you represent a team, you have your team, but at the end of the day, you're competing for yourself. So you learn to like be a team player with the team that you're running for, but also like compete for yourself and win. So I think having those, and you already mentioned, like having those two experiences like have helped you a lot in running track, right? Now run us a little bit about like now coming here to America, all this transition, when you realized, okay, I can do something big with track, because it was a very, very short process. Like, it was not like a 10-year process where you could see like a lot of progress, but it was like 3 years. So when was that moment where you realized, okay, I can do something big out of this?
Oh, well, I would say my second year was the most improvement one, because as I mentioned, you're getting more serious in track when you go to nationals, especially in Italy. In the first year I wasn't able to qualify, but the second year I was competing with the best ones. So in the first national I got 7th in the 1500, and and it's your first nationals competition and you're getting top 8 is a good thing. And that made me think that, okay, I can still do better, because I have run for 3 years now, so there's people that have run for 10 years and are still trying to get their peak. So especially that placement at the championship helped me, but also like the progress I made in longer distance. For instance, the 1500, I went for running 4:30 in the first year to run 3:59 the year before, so 31 seconds improvement. And this year I moved to 3:52, so it's all other 7 seconds. So this progress allows you to think that you can still get far.
Of course.
You can still get far. And when I was there, it was my last year of high school, and I had to think what to do for college. I always like the idea of going abroad. I did an exchange semester in Ireland in 2022. So, I was already used to be abroad and try to live different cultures, different environment. And thank God my English improved. And so I was thinking to go to the US. I was seeing a lot of people older than me they went to college there, and they got a good scholarship. So I was like, okay, I might give it a try, So I work with an agency that were trying to say to me that I had a good opportunity to go there. And then at the end of the day, I had several offers from college here in the States, and I decided to stay here in Indiana Tech for these years. And for now, it's paying off. I mean, I see how I improved well, and at the same time, I can not only compete at high level, but also like getting the academic, because I have to prioritize the academic. Of course, I can't base all of my daily activity to running. Academic is first, of course, so I have to focus on that. And I was looking for the degrees that the school was offering, and I got the business administration degree, so it's working so far very well. I'm trying to get the high GPA and try to be not only good in running but also good in the academic.
Being an all-around athlete that has the academics, because at the end of the day, it's gonna complement each other. Yeah. If you're doing well in one, you're gonna see the results in the other one.
Because if you're focused to be good in running, you also want to be an example to the other people. Maybe try to be good in running is a good thing, but you also want to give the example of not only a good athlete but also a good student.
Exactly.
Just trying to balance both of them. It's affordable, and it's a thing that if everyone puts like 100% in it, they can achieve it. Because I'm a very strong believer of hard work and determination, and I would say everything you do is because you want to do it, and you're giving your 100% of it. You're 100% committed, and try to give it with the best effort you can.
Of course, and I really like that of being 100% committed, of that you are the one that determines what's going to happen to you because of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
You also mentioned that you were seeing progress every year, and this also ties to the hard work. Like, what were those things that you were doing in your day-to-day basis that allow you to see the progress at the end of the year?
Okay, so for a runner, I would say I increased my mileage, so that definitely helps. If you're talking about the technique aspect of running, especially me as a 800 and 1500 meters runner, when I was training with the sprinters, my mileage of the week was like probably not even 20.
Okay.
Now I'm running like 90, 85, 90 during fall season, and when it comes to the actual track season, I'm lowering it to the 70, 80s. So increasing mileage was one of the aspects. It made me...
So mileage means you run 90 miles per week?
Kilometers. Miles is like it's over 100 kilometers. I'm not in that process yet because it takes time. You can't move from 30 kilometers the first year to 80. It's a process. I was 30 the first months, then I went to 50, then I went to 80s, and now I'm trying to stay to 90, 95 next year, trying to stay in the hundreds, So that helps you to build your endurance and to allows you to running more mileage with less effort, you know. Another aspect is for sure, as I said before, the mental aspect, you know, because when I first started, I wasn't running every day, you know. I was running one day, maybe the other day I was taking a rest, and so I was not consistent, you know. So consistent is the key if you want to succeed and try to be, you know, the number one. You have to be consistent. You have to focus not only on running but also the nutrition, the aspect of recovery. And one thing that allowed me to progress is injury free. So I thank God I didn't have big injuries throughout my running career. And when it comes to running, a lot of people, it's very painful because they are getting very bad injuries that stop them for like also a year. So in order to have an injury free career, you need to work hard on your nutrition, you know, take the right number of carbs before a race, take the protein, eat vegetables, eat fruit, drink water. Also the recovery stuff, you know, before, don't underestimate the drills at the end of the run. Don't always trying to warm up before a run. Don't try to run fast without warming up, because your muscles are gonna feel it. So that aspect is essential. Also, it's a word, running. It's a word. You know, I have run for 3 years. I maybe know half of it, maybe 3/4 of it. You know, I'm still trying to learn the notions, reading books, watching videos from experts, and in order to try to be the best, you know. So
people think that to be the best you have to do like the most complex stuff, but I think the complexity comes in the consistency. It is hard because of how consistent you have to be, not because the thing itself is hard. It's about eating right every day, training hard every day, as you said, running every day. And many people like complain because they think they're doing the hard job, they're doing the things right. But if they look at the people that were successful, like that's the only thing you have to do. See what the other person did and just do it. And if a person really analyzes it, they're gonna find out that most of the time they're missing out something. As you mentioned, don't underestimate the exercises at the end of the practice. And if you look back and you got injured and you say, "Oh, but I did everything," but there was this one practice that you didn't do. Okay, so you're missing stuff. So it's like, just do the exact same thing and being very honest to yourself. Like, am I being consistent? Am I doing this every day? Am I eating the right amount of food? Because if you do that in a consistent basis, it's gonna compound over the years. Like, you don't have to get too overcomplicated about your stuff. It's about just doing the work consistently, you know? And that's what's worked for you, and you've seen results because as you started to be more consistent, like you've seen the progress and everything.
Talking about consistency, of course there are going to be some days where you wake up like, oh, I don't want to go for a run. What do you tell yourself? Like, do you have any goal in mind? Is there like, I don't know, maybe a quote?
Well, you know, when I came here, I wasn't used at all at morning practice. You know, 3 days, 4 days a week we had, especially in the fall, because we have to get the training for the cross country. A lot of days at 6 a.m., you know, so you have to wake up at 5:30, and it was the first time, it was a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. But you know, when you like something, when you love something, it's not gonna stop you, because
when you have a goal in mind,
it's not gonna stop you. If this was my first year of running, it would have been insanely hard. But you know, as I've been doing this for the last 3 years, it was a process that started from the beginning and got improved at the end. So when I came here, even if I never did like 6 a.m. practice, I was like, okay, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be an unusual thing, but I'll give it, you know, the 100%, and it paid off, you know. And also when you're doing this and you're running at an early time in the morning, it keeps you motivated, you know. It says, am I running at 6 a.m., waking up at 5:30? It's not like a lot of a lot of guys doing that.
The rest of the day is easy after that because you're like, I already run 20K.
Yes.
Like, what else? What's
Yes.
gonna be hard?
People are sleeping,
Yeah.
and while you are doing the work, and that keeps you, motivated and try always to work hard in order to achieve this kind of
Getting
things.
the feeling after the run is amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing. Oh, you go to breakfast. That
You wanna eat
that
everything.
meal looks the best one. The best one.
You wanna get everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you
Yeah.
deserve You feel like you deserve everything.
You feel like a king. You go to the cafe and you expect everyone to open the door.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling, and it got, as I said before, it was tough the first period, but now it's getting like I'm getting used, so it's getting like.
And I also wanted to ask you about the other mental part. When you're in the run and it gets hard, do you have something you talk to it, self-talk, in the competition?
Well, yeah, I'm trying always before a workout, during my week I have workouts and I have easy runs. Before the easy runs, you're getting there, you're getting the mileage, you talk with your teammates. So these are supposed to be easy runs and try to get your mileage done. When it comes to workouts, it's a little bit tough, because you need to consider all the things in order to perform good at your workout. So eat well. I always try to eat well and sleep well, trying to get, if I have a 6 a.m, trying to get sleep at 10:30, so usually if it gets hard, I would say that the teammates makes your life easier. As I mentioned before, if you have someone in front of you, it's going to be very much easier than you're pacing the whole workout by yourself.
And if you're a competitive person, you see the other person doing it, you're like, okay, this guy's doing it, I have to do it too.
So, especially with some of my teammates, if we have, I give them a help, I pace them in shorter distance, because it's when it comes to 800 stuff, 1500 stuff, I might be the one pacing all of them. Or when it comes to distance stuff, I'm not the distance guy. So, we have a couple of good distance dudes there that, give me a very decent help. So thanks to my teammates, it makes my life easier. Maybe in some reps they go to the front and then I'm the one that goes in the front the next rep. So we are trying to balance the effort and not let just one person go to the front. And I would say having a group and a lot of teammates builds that mental aspect that you wouldn't build if you were alone. I always say that. I think literally have a team makes the difference. And I would say, thank God I started with the team, because if I was alone, it would have been another different dimension.
Of course.
Yes.
I think today we've talked about so many valuable stuff, starting from the fact that you started running 3 years ago. Is for the people is very valuable to see. Okay, probably not in the early stage, you can still, if you put the work, if you're consistent with it, if you trust the process, you can still get something out of it. And also the importance of having people in your environment, as you mentioned, your team, motivating yourself. Probably you could have done it by yourself, but having people that hold you accountable of the things, of the work you have to put, is very beneficial, and at the end of the day, it's gonna make you a better athlete and a better person, right? And also, you mentioned before, yes, you're a good athlete, but also you have to be an example as a person. Because people look out for athletes. So many people want to be like an athlete. Many people, that's their goal, that's their dream. So you have to be an example as a person. And I think that's something very important for the people to get. If you want to add anything,
just the fact you started 3 years ago, now you're at the national championship, just shows what you can achieve with being
consistent,
and consistent in nutrition, workouts, and everything.
Not skipping
No, you don't have
the
to.
things.
No,
And being true to yourself.
I mean, you're competing against people who did this, I don't know, 15 years or 10 years, and also you're competing against older guys.
especially here in the US, So
Yeah. You see some 25-year-old
25 years old freshmen, 30 years old seniors, but when you have when you have older people, and it keeps you trying to reach their level,
Of course.
So
And also think what Camila said before, when one door closes, doesn't mean you can always try something new. Take the positive from it.
Of course. Now, bro, if you're okay with this, we can do some rapid fire questions about track.
Sure. It's gonna be like a questionnaire or like
Yeah, just rapid fire questions. Give a.
Okay.
What's your favorite race distance?
Favorite race distance? 1500.
1500
meters. Yes.
What's your best one?
Yeah. Right now, I probably say it's close to the 800 if you consider the times, but personally, I rather doing the 1500. It's a very tough race. I think it's 3 laps and a half. It gets very big. It's 3 minutes. It's 3 minutes race. So it's getting
full speed.
It gets fast. It gets faster every day, every year. So I think it's a very enjoyable race to watch, and close to the 800. Of course, the 100 meters are the golden race.
It was still 9 seconds.
It's
at least the 1500.
The 800 and the 1500 for me and the 400 as well are the best races. But 1500 are the best one. Yes.
Okay. What's your go-to pre-race meal or snack?
Pre-race
meal? That's a tough one. Well, I would say, I'm from Italy, so I would say good pasta.
Of course. What do you think about the pasta here?
Everything about the pasta. Everything about the pasta here, definitely. But some snacks. I would say, also tough one here. Just maybe a protein. How do you call it? I forget the word.
Protein bar.
Protein bar.
Okay.
It's just easy.
And then, what's your biggest inspiration in running? Like the guy you look up.
Like an example. I don't know if you know him. His name is Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He's a Norwegian runner. For me, he's the GOAT. I like his personality.
He's young, right?
Huh?
He's young, right?
Yeah, I think he's like 24 or something. Yeah. He's already Olympic champion, and he's trying to get all the world records in running in the distance. He got 3 of them. He's trying to get 7 of them. So I think he's a very good inspiration for a lot of runners, not just me. A lot of runners will say that he's a very good inspirational guy. Yeah.
Do you prefer running in the cold or in the heat?
Cold. Definitely cold. 100%. Winter over summer, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was at some point while you're running, at the beginning it might be hard in the cold, but then you just
because you're wearing your warm clothes.
Yeah, okay.
When it gets too hot, it's a nightmare. Because you're also, when it's hotter, I would say the effort you're making is tougher than when it's colder. And
probably the first moment when you go out and it's cold, that's the first one.
Yeah. Especially at 6 a.m. in January, when here it gets like minus 15 degrees.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
You feel stiff. What's your personal best time in a race? I mean, you mentioned 1500.
My best times?
Yeah.
So I run 3:52 in the 1500, and I ran 4:13 in the mile indoor last year, and right now 1:53 in the 800. These are all times from last year, and this year I hope I can get a significantly better improvement.
What's your toughest race you ever run? Like maybe also talking about the mental.
Cross country, definitely cross country. 8 kilometers. I'm not a distance guy, but I'm trying to work on my endurance every year. But 8K is my longest race ever, so it's tough. It's very tough, and I can definitely say cross country is definitely the toughest one. Yeah.
You also have to be more concentrated in cross country.
Yeah, because it's very long, and when you're getting like fast pace at the end of the first kilometers.
It's like more strategy, like regulating yourself. I think 1500 is more like you have to go
it's a sprint.
All the way.
It's a sprint. You need to work hard on the speed endurance. Yeah. Speed endurance is definitely more difficult to train rather than endurance, normal endurance in distance events, and it will take like a lot of training to run a pretty decent 8K.
Yeah. Do you normally wear headphones before a race? Or
Yeah, definitely. Like listen to music.
What do you listen to?
Italian rap.
I'm gonna say I don't have a favorite singer. I don't have a favorite artist. Literally, I'm one of those guys that like a song and then after 3 days I'm not listening to it anymore. So it's definitely gonna change it every day.
What's the genre? Like, do you listen to music in English or?
I'm gonna say pop, but
Pop.
also like rap,
Okay.
trap, Italian trap. It's a good one. But yeah, I'm definitely I like different styles and
Okay.
don't like a specific one. So
Consistent with the workouts, but not with the music.
not with the music. Yeah, you
Not
can
even before a match. You don't have before a race. You don't have like a specific type of
specific
music
song.
before a race.
Well, I
You
think
like
yeah,
in the
before a
song?
race, definitely trap.
Okay.
Definitely rap and trap.
Okay.
You know, it keeps me motivated. You know,
Yeah.
that motivational songs.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
before it helps you getting the grind.
Yeah.
before the race. Yes.
Do you have something you always bring to like competition? Like some item you always bring, like which brings you luck, for example, or
Oh, to be honest, that's a tough one. Now that I'm thinking, no, maybe just my arm sleeves. Yeah, definitely my arm sleeves. Yeah,
Okay.
usually I don't wear them. Even you wear arm sleeves if it's cold. Sometimes, but it's a style.
Yeah.
Makes you look cooler. So
yeah.
sometimes even if the weather doesn't require you to wear.
There's
arm
nothing
sleeve.
wrong with a little bit of style in
There's
there.
a lot of people. I see people with sunglasses, even
Yeah.
if there's no sun.
Yeah.
So,
Indoor.
yeah, indoor. Some crazy stuff. So I would say, yeah, sometimes the arm sleeves.
makes you feel comfortable.
Yeah, feel
Yeah,
comfortable
like
as
that's
well.
because I used to wear arm sleeves, like long sleeves
Yeah.
in playing football
Yeah.
at 40 degrees, warm,
No,
like with the sun.
No, that never. But like,
Also because I didn't want to like get the ugly tan that you get from the t. But I also like how it looks. So
It's all about the looks.
it's all about
it's
the
all about
look.
the look at the end of the day. Yeah, trying to get a good picture, at the end.
Yeah. Well, now, man, it was very nice having you here.
Thank you guys
It was a real pleasure, man.
Thank
Speaking to you.
Thank you for inviting me, and just hope your project will grow
Appreciate
well.
it, man.
And
Hope to have you here when we're like
yeah, of course.
more followers and everything. You can
You-
come back and we can see how things are going.
Yeah, we'll see.
Every national champion.
Yeah.
This year is the goal, So we are
Wow.
trying. Last year I was close, but this year we are trying to get that goal. So
Of course.
we'll work on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, guys. So
Nice.
I hope you got a lot of value from Giulio because he gave us a lot of value from his experiences, transitioning from different sports and still being successful, even though starting the running late. For many people, they might think there's not an option when they're 15, when they're 14, but you can see that when an opportunity closes, another one opens, and you should take advantage of the opportunities you take and be consistent with it. Be true to yourself that you put in the hard work, and in that way, I believe like everything is possible if you actually do it that way. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you in the next one.
Guys, and remember to follow Awarenezzz. Thank you.
The camera.
Say to the camera. Follow Awarenezzz. Thank you, guys.
Very much.